All right, friends, we are at week 7 in unit 5 to be followed by week 8 and the final exam. So in this final screencast video that I'm posting for you, I wanted to both illuminate some key points about unit 5 and that final exam. For unit 5, you'll do as I hope I have encouraged throughout the semester, and that is examine some common misconceptions about something as pivotal as the Civil War and something as raw as slavery. There are, of course, a lot of misconceptions and difficult topics. So I have provided instead here 2 websites. One is a link to a teaching tolerance from the Southern Poverty Law Center piece about myths on slavery in the Civil War, and the other one is a Washington Post op-ed about myths of the South secession, and really those can generate a lot of insight and in some cases a lot of controversy. So I really encourage you to review those and give them some thought through the lens of what you've studied thus far. You'll also notice Unit 5's reading and self-assessment. Of course, this is the approach we've had throughout the semester. While not required, strongly encourage that you click through the questions for chapters 13 through 15, seeing if you could sort of orally respond to those or create a bulleted note in the margin of how you would tackle those critical questions about the text reading. You can have your last flourish with Dr. Nagel's lectures online through Cengage Learning. There are a couple of final Annenberg videos on learner.org on demand for you, as well as a few final John Green crash course videos. I also added a link to a Civil War series from Ken Burns, a documentary that if you haven't already encountered, I really think many of you would find valuable to watch even after this course. And the segment that I've linked for you is called All Night Forever. In that link, you will be able to watch just a small segment of Ken Burns' comprehensive Civil War miniseries and documentary where the institution of slavery is unpacked in a way that is oftentimes not taught, I think, until people get to college, and really exposes some of the realities that are difficult to hear about that peculiar institution that does propel the United States into a civil war. You'll see your last quiz has 40 multiple choice questions. There's no time limit, but again, allow yourself enough time before the deadline to be able to do your best work. Your final discussion board in this class is one that takes up historian Kenneth Stamp's work on the causes of the Civil War. There are many, and so I ask you to try to determine what is the straw that broke the proverbial Campbell camel's back. Is it John Brown's raid? Is it the caning and the beating, excuse me, on the floor of the Senate between Brooks and Sumner? You know, what is it? Is it the fugitive slave law? Is it not really until Fort Sumter? You know, what is the point at which there was no return? And then finally, for your Unit 5 writing assignment, you will go to SAS Curriculum Pathways, but instead of doing one of the interactivities as you did with Ann Hutchinson and the Mexican-American War, the website will actually send you on a little web quest of sorts to really examine more closely and critically the Emancipation Proclamation and whether it was largely a moral or political or both proclamation on the part of Abraham Lincoln after the Union victory at the Battle of Antietam. That's your preview for Unit 5. I do want to take this opportunity at the conclusion of this video and go ahead and point you toward the final exam. The final exam is cumulative and objective, just to be able to give you the kind of quick turnaround and feedback to conclude the course and to get the grades submitted on time. There's an optional short essay added as well. This, unlike all other objective opportunities you've had this semester, does have a strictly enforced 60-minute time limit. Whatever dates I provide for it being available to you, those stand. And upon completing the exam, your score only will be displayed until the final exam is closed to everyone. So while now, as I'm making this preview video, the link and the dates may not be applicable, closer to time, closer to week 8 of this course, you would be able to click on this final exam button and find all that you need. I think the best way to prepare for the final exam is to go back over those self-assessment questions that were optional in each unit, as well as your quizzes, your discussion boards, and your assignments. Really familiarize yourself with the body of work that you already completed so that you can, in an objective format, report back and showcase all that you've learned about the first half, quote unquote, of American history. Thanks so much for all your work this semester, and I look forward to reviewing these final works that you produce for both Unit 5 and the final exam. Good luck.